Yeah, Honorable Speaker, as part of the leadership in Nairobi, I was deeply embarrassed by what we saw in the city on Friday. Somehow, Mr. Speaker, when I take the mic, the volume just plummets. I don't know what is going on. But the point that I was making is that we were deeply embarrassed as a leadership.
What are you trying to suggest, Senator for Nairobi?
I'm trying to suggest that there is internal sabotage whenever some of us take to the floor, because we have also things to say. We might not shout in your ear like the previous speaker, but we want to be heard. Honorable Speaker, as a leadership in the city, we were deeply embarrassed by what happened in Nairobi on Friday. We have lost over 25 people in Nairobi alone. There is more than 4,000 families that have been affected by the flooding. And Honorable Speaker, what we want to say is our deepest condolences to all of those who have lost their loved ones. Our pole to the people who were affected in one way or by the floods. I know there are members here who were stuck on the road. Many Kenyans were stuck on the road overnight. Honorable Speaker, it was deeply, deeply embarrassing. And I said that as part of that leadership, you will hear no excuses from me. Honorable Speaker, it is quite surprising that a member of this House can forget that we have limited roles as senators. And this House knows the work that all of us have done in terms of oversighting of governance. And therefore, if the expectation from anyone in this House is that Senator for Nairobi is responsible for opening drainages, I think it is the height of hypocrisy, Honorable Speaker. Even in our political differences, you should not swing low blows, Honorable Speaker. I have had various stories, including now we are being told that the city floods because it is built on a swamp. I think we all know, and we have known for all these years, of the problems around the drainage in Nairobi. And we can no longer give stories to the public, Honorable Speaker. We want at this particular moment in time to ensure, Honorable Speaker, that there is a comprehensive review of how this entire city drains so that these things don't happen again. I heard somebody say that the rains are things that we expect. It cannot be a surprise. And we know that it will rain again, including this week. But there are simple measures that can be put in place as we await a comprehensive review of how the city drains to ensure that these things don't happen again. Honorable Speaker, the last time we had flooding of a similar nature, they blamed settlements along the Nairobi rivers. And they kicked out many of our people from those settlements. And we thought that was the solution. But it is clear that these piecemeal interventions are not working. And that therefore, there needs to be a proper audit and review of how the entire city drains. And there's talent in young people, engineers who have done this work in other places who can be able to help us as a city to be able to stem this problem. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, there are simple things that I believe we can put in place as a county administration to help to save lives. For instance, when the meteorological department has told you that there's going to be heavy flooding, why can't we have early warning systems that can require employers to release people early from their offices so that we don't have traffic at those hours when it is raining, Honorable Speaker? Because it can be predicted with some degree of certainty the amount of rainfall we're going to receive on every single day, so that we warn people early to take precaution and to get home as fast as they can before the rains began for the safety of everybody involved. And I am sure employers in Nairobi would actually cooperate. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity once again to just pass my condolences to everyone who has lost their loved ones. We as the leadership in Nairobi, together with the national government, there's a few things that we believe we can do to assuage the situation, and we'll be doing it both in our individual and corporate capacities to try and extend help to those ones who have been affected. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Nandi County, Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to join my colleagues in passing our deepest condolences because we are told 42 Kenyans died because of Friday raging floods, Mr. Speaker, sir. 71 vehicles were swept away. And of course, there was massive. I saw yesterday in one of the news outlets that most schools could not continue. Mr. Speaker, this issue of stormwater and drainage and the issue of flooding in Nairobi is not new. In 2023, there was a similar incident. I was embarrassed by the comments of Nairobi governor, who used to tell us in a work, but it looks like it does not work, Mr. Speaker, because they don't have even a storm drainage policy, as by my last checkings, Mr. Speaker. And I think I want to advise him to read a book called Eating Chiefs, a Nigerian by Topolo Young, Mr. Speaker, because it looks like eating is too much as opposing to working in Nairobi City County, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the national government because they have concentrated in giving necessary support to functionality. But I know the 80 billion, Mr. Speaker, might work in favor of alleviating suffering. Mr. Speaker, I want to propose the following. Because emergency and issues are concurrent functions, we should compensate the families that lost their loved ones, because it's a criminal negligence, Mr. Speaker. We should compensate for the lives lost and the properties that have been destroyed. Kenya Power, Mr. Speaker, should also compensate Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. So we want to appeal that as we go into the future, Mr. Speaker, is another point I want to make, since our colleague is here, is lack of oversight, Mr. Speaker. I want to encourage my brother, Omwami Sifuna, instead of saying Linda MWANANCHI, he should start lindering Nairobi first. Because the problem is lack of oversight. Up to today, Mr. Speaker, and I know Senator Sifuna has zealously oversight the 10-point agenda of NADCO. He should start with Nairobi. Yes. If he can oversight the way he's oversighting NADCO and broad-based, if he could oversight Sakaja, we'd be not having problem, my brother Omwami Sifuna. Can you use the same passion to Linda Nairobi, not Linda MWANANCHI? I saw you in makwiny. Start with Nairobi, my brother. That is where your vote is. The day you will want to run for president, start with Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. So finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to support on the issue of national ID. Let us remain focused and steadfast, Mr. Speaker. We want as many Kenyans to get the national ID. And I want to confirm to Senator Manzo that issuance of ID is free of charge, courtesy of William Ruto government. So make sure you take it so that we vote out.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comments on this very important statement on floods in Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, floods did not come yesterday. This is a problem which has been transferred from one administration to another. So it will be illogical to blame the current administration of Sakaja of all the challenges on the floods. Mr. Speaker, my point is very clear.
Order.
Nairobi County, when you look at the soils, scientifically they are saturated. When you look at urbanization, there is rapid creeping urbanization in Nairobi County. Everybody is moving to Nairobi. What do you expect? The most logical thing, Mr. Speaker, is to try and look at what is the appropriate way of solving this problem for future generations. This is a systemic issue which started with poor infrastructure development by the colonial masters. You come into the current system where everybody is encroaching into the riparian lands. You cannot continue blaming one administration that is going to be able to solve all those problems. We can be populist, but that is not going to solve our problem. We have to be able to ask ourselves, what should be the problem and what is the solution? If you look at it right now, there is a problem in the sense that not one level of government takes full responsibility. The issue of floods in Nairobi is a shared responsibility between the national government and the county government. Clarify that first. Give one entity to be able to resolve that problem. Number two, in the past years where we've had flooding in Nairobi, and flooding in Nairobi is not unique to Nairobi alone. Other cities in Africa, Lagos is another big problem. In the past, what we have done in Nairobi County is that they have concentrated on issues of declogging the flooding routes. But the issue of the matter is that what must be done now is for this House to be able to push for more monies to go to our counties so that we don't have people from Western moving into Nairobi. We don't have people from Mount Kenya moving into Nairobi, and setting up settlements where it's supposed to be, sort of like riparian land. That is the issue. Let us not run away from that. Finally, Mr. Speaker, it is important to be logical and not just to be populist when it comes to the issue of solving problems in this country. We cannot run away from the fact that all of us are responsible. We start with policies here and ensure that our counties become homes for our people, not Nairobi. Nairobi is overpopulated because there are no jobs in our counties. Everybody is moving here. What do you expect? You know?
Senator Tabitha Morin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to start by supporting the statement from Nairobi Senator Sifuna in regards to the issue of the deputy governors across the 47 counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's very, very sad. Recently, I think a few weeks ago, we saw the Honorable Deputy Governor of Homa Bay, Honorable Tuoma, Magwanga, Mr. Speaker. I love that the House is very attentive. Did resign, Mr. Speaker. And he's just among the many deputy governors who are suffering in this country, across the 47 counties, Mr. Speaker. Suffering because we have not, as a House, completed on the bill and on the structures that need to be set as far as the issues of the deputy governors are concerned. It is sad that they are just used as vehicles during the political process, after the governors settle, and then the deputy governors become limbo. I mean, it is the high time, Mr. Speaker, because when the deputy governor office is set to standard, we will be actually having very minimal accountability issues in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so I urge the House that we speed up on the issue of the deputy governors. Quickly to the statement of my very good friend, my sister, none other than Senator Hamida Kibwana.